Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be continuing what we were talking about a couple of days ago with the algorithm update. There was an algorithm update on the 5th of May. It was one of the most interesting algorithm updates we've seen in a long time, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about it today. So we looked at this picture last time where it just shows basically who's winning and who's losing in this case. And the list of websites that were hit is a list of websites that people never thought that Google would go for. That's what makes this particular update so interesting and so unprecedented, or at least for the last kind of 5 to 10 years. Now, I know that there was Panda, I know that there was big changes in previous algorithm updates a long time ago, but more specifically I am looking at the kind of last 10 years of updates, and this is one of the most interesting ones that we have seen. So we looked at a lot of these photos the other day, but Chris Long on Twitter has now shared this image, which is incredibly interesting. Now, the one thing I would say about this is these graphs look very different to smaller websites' graphs. What do I mean by that? Well, with the helpful content update, people were hit. Yes, they were hit. But they were not hit like smaller websites were hit. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let me just think of an example. So we'll go with Julian's example, which was astrologicaleden.com. Oops. If I put this on 1 year, this is what people were experiencing, smaller websites, okay? That is much more dramatic than what you're seeing here. In fact, to be honest with you, for a company like CNN, quarter of their coupon traffic going, they don't care. They really don't care. USA Today, 600,000 of their coupon traffic gone. LA Times, same thing, they've lost, we're talking about 1 million, maybe 500,000. They've still got, according to Ahrefs, almost 2 million traffic with coupons in the URL. So I mean, we're talking there's a huge difference between what Google have done with small independent companies and what they've done with big companies. And I actually think I get why they've done it, but I think that's wrong. Like, if you're going to really punish small businesses, and I'm just using Julian's example here from Astrological Eden. It's just an example. Obviously, Julian was being pretty risky. He was posting God knows how many articles every single day. And I'm not saying everyone that was hit by the update was doing that. I just want to make that absolutely clear. But what they should have done, and I mean, when I say should, I mean if they were fair and not careful, is they should have also wiped these out completely. At least removed the coupons from all of these websites. But what they seem to have done instead is just lower them. Let's have a look at another one here. Looks like the Telegraph UK is an early loser in the site reputation abuse enforcement. Super interesting. From Cheltenham Gold Cup 2024 odds, from being the featured snippet to being lost. That's a big change. That's a change of maybe, just from that one keyword, maybe 1,000 clicks in a day, maybe 10% of those convert into an affiliate. Telegraph was making bank. Let's just leave it at that. I've seen numbers being thrown around like 1 million a month and stuff like that. I'm not sure how much they've actually lost. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lot. So I did see a very interesting comment. So Barry Schwartz, who I think is the owner or something of Search Engine Land. Again, I don't follow people in the niche. I'm sorry, someone's going to say, how do you not know who Barry is? I don't know who Barry is, guys. I'm sorry. But Barry basically said, Google begins enforcement. This was on the 5th or 6th of May, I guess, on the 7th of May, of site reputation abuse policy, with portions of sites being delisted. Sites like CNN, USA Today, LA Times and others were being algorithmically hit tonight. Google Search Liaison. This is very interesting. Not sure if you're still online, Barry. But We're only doing manual actions right now. The algorithmic component will indeed come, as we've said, but that's not live yet. What does that mean? That means these hits that we've seen, these are just the manual actions that they have said to people, we're sick of the Telegraph making bank from Google, on betting, which they're not even a betting company, so let's slash them down. That's a manual action. What comes next, only Google knows, and they could hit anyone, which it's kind of getting to that point now where you can be hit when you haven't even done anything. And it's scary. It's definitely scary times. It's a scary time to start a business. It's a scary time to be trying to rank on Google. It's just a scary time in SEO. People said that they would never hit Forbes. They hit Forbes. That's where we're at right now. Let's have a look at a few more. This is what the rankings look like for Walmart coupon code during the first half of the day. The SERPs are completely different now. So yeah, again, look, you can see coupons.cnn.com. Now, I've heard that this has been completely removed from Google, so coupons.cnn.com. There are still some on Google, whether they're ranking or not, completely different matter. It's very, very hard to see whether these are ranking or not. So looks like Tom's Guide might have been spared so far. Here's the difference. That's interesting to see that Tom's Guide has been spared up until this point. Is Google becoming more of a place for big companies and less of a place for independent companies? It's hard to say, because the reason I say that, it's actually quite interesting, is that I just mentioned Tom's Guide. Now, I actually just found this out from watching a YouTube video, but apparently Tom's Guide is owned by a big media company, and that big media company probably has another 300 websites, all similar to Tom's Guide, and apparently there are 16 of these big media companies that own the majority of the well-ranked websites, and none of them are Forbes, CNN, or whatever. So, is this going to help these companies grow even more? Probably. Does Google have a vested interest in that? I don't think so, but maybe there is some kind of vested interest that I'm not seeing. I just don't know. So, one more thing that I want to talk about. You can just see these are all just results. It's fine. It's just mainly coupon pages. But what I do want to talk about is this here. This is the SEMrush volatility sensor. This shows the amount of change in ranking in one day on average for websites. This is officially the most volatile the SERP, the SERP, has been for quite a long time. So can we add more of a date to this so that we can see further back? It doesn't actually seem like we can, but it's currently at 9, which is pretty high, especially considering we just had the helpful content update as well. That's pretty much it, guys. Things are becoming very, very interesting. Things are definitely heating up, and we're not even, the algorithm update hasn't even happened. This is just manual action by Google, which, again, this is the second time I've seen manual actions. The first time was in March. So things are definitely heating up. Things are definitely getting interesting. And I'm so excited to see what happens with this algorithm update. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching all the way to the end, you are an absolute legend. And I'll see you soon with some more content. Peace out.